Chris, we're gonna go to the potential building inspector.
Oh, okay.
All right?
All right.
Kind of the thinking behind it and those kinds of things.
Since I've been here, well, let me back up a little bit. So my experience with planning and zoning is that it goes hand in hand with building inspection. If you're regulating building permits and those kind of things, you really need to be looking at how things are built. Are they built to code? Are they, built to withstand time? And the state of Kentucky, if it's a commercial building, it has to be inspected by the state as it is now. If it's residential, unless the city or county has a building inspection program, it doesn't have to be inspected, but it's supposed to be built to a certain 2018 International Building Code. But there's no, unless the local jurisdiction has a program in place, it doesn't have to be inspected. It's just supposed to be done. There's no check on that, whether it's done or not. Basically, what would have to happen for us to have a building inspection program, we pass an ordinance adopting. It's typically the state says at least the 2018 International Building Code. That's pretty standard across the state. It could be later, but it couldn't be an older building code. But if we have a building inspection program, we would need probably a contract building inspector. It would work similar to how the electrical and plumbing inspectors work, where they basically, when you get a permit through us, we would give the applicant the contact information when they were ready for their footer foundation, framing, final inspections, all those. They would call the inspector comes out, they pay the fee.
So more of an independent contractor?
It's an independent contractor. It would work real similar to how...
Not an employee of the city.
Right. It wouldn't be a full-time, part-time employee, at least in the beginning.
Okay.
Now, if we got really busy down the road or whatever, then, that we could look
Now,
at.
right now, we do have several new homes and renovations going on right now. Correct?
Right.
Okay.
And so, basically for it would be, any addition, any accessory buildings, any new construction, we'd have a building inspector. They'd go through us. We have this new iWork program that does permit management that I've gotten implemented, that's tracking all the permits. So basically with that, we would have the inspector would be able to go in and sign off that they've passed or failed an inspection. So we keep track of it. We have the documentation. But the need is that building code is important because it's health, safety, and welfare of the people, of the citizens. It's not just the person who's building the house, who's going to live in it for the next 20, 30, 40, however many years. It's whoever's going to buy the house after them. It's who's going to, their visitors and guests in the house. It's to protect the public, basically, and also to make the city, the houses in the city better quality for the people who live in them. So it's very important, and we don't have it. I don't know that we've ever had it, as far as I can tell.
Let me ask the council, has there been anything like this in the city, Tom, you guys?
I always thought that fell under the zoning.
Well, zoning would come out like when we built our garage down on Pamela Drive and see that it was the right
I was
distance.
just saying, I always thought that was kind of attached to it.
Well,
But
normally it is. I mean, that's how it works anywhere. But we've just never had a building inspector.
Yeah.
We've had zoning, but we've never had a building
Well,
inspector.
Just make sure you're 15 feet off the line. That's
Well,
the
right.
Yeah.
we've done.
Now, there's certain qualifications that have to meet.
Yeah.
Right. So for a building inspector to, I'm trying to think how they word it. Is it certified?
Certified, yeah.
They have to be a member of the program, which is a $50 fee. They have to meet certain prerequisites, which is, I think it's like a high school diploma, and then it can be 2 years experience. I think it has to be like supervisory experience in construction or architecture engineering, or they can have a degree in fire science, engineering. I don't know, there's 2 or 3 different things, but the state spells it out what you have to do to be certified, and then you have to take, they want you to be a level 2 or level 3 certified building inspector.
And then they take certain tests. And
Right.
things.
For the level 2, you have to take 3 exams. For the level 3, I'm sorry, did I say 2? For level 2, you have to take 3 exams. For level 3, you have to take 1, 2, 3, 5 4 exams. They're $250 each for each exam. And then once they pass, then they can be a building inspector. So basically, we need to find somebody who meets the initial qualifications, which that's just a matter of, checking their history, and then somebody to be willing to either take the exams or who's taken the exams. So we have some options. One would be we could look to the surrounding communities and see if we could find, like from Mount Sterling, Clark County, somewhere close. I mean, we won't go too far out, and see if their inspectors could and would be willing to work with us. The other would be to look for somebody that's either employed by the city or in the city that would be willing to that has the qualifications, would be able to take the exams and be able to do, it's going to be part-time work in the beginning, I'm sure. Or, just basically put it out for, post a position and see if somebody would be willing to do what needs to be done to.
Do we have that great of a need for it? Do we have that great of a need for it?
We have no oversight at all on how anything is built. And so if you build.
With so many new constructions and people doing them as Airbnbs, people throw this stuff up that's shoddy and they're putting rafters too far apart and, you just never know.
I would say-
Cutting corners.
I'd say the answer to your question, Mark, is maybe not right now. But let's say somebody comes in and they want to find some land for a subdivision within the city. You're going to build 30 to 50 homes. You need those inspectors.
Right, that's the thing, that what's gonna end up happening is at some point in the near future, some of these vacant properties in the city are going to either change hands, or the people that have them are gonna decide they wanna come in and do a 20-house subdivision. And if we don't have it, we have no way to inspect those houses. We don't have the program in place. We wouldn't be able to do it quick enough before they could get their subdivision process done and start building. Because by the time they come to the city, they're ready.
And then understand this is an independent contractor.
Right.
We wouldn't be
Which is
having-
what I do with, various things. in the
But
city.
here's my question, is this gonna fall on the homeowners or the builders? Like if you're sending a home inspector out, I would assume that if I was building something, I would have to pay that home inspector.
Yes.
But the city doesn't pay for it at all.
Right.
Right, it's the builder.
So
Just
the
like
builder
if-
would pay
yeah.
for it.
Well,
Just
I
like
mean,
a regular
obviously
inspector
the
has
other
to-
option would be we could hire somebody and pay them a rate, but if we do it contract wise, then the city doesn't have to keep somebody on the payroll for the offhand chance that a permit.
That's the part I'm missing, Chris. You're saying we have to hire somebody and pay them a rate.
No.
No,
We
don't.
don't have to.
We could.
No, I'm saying, why would we have to hire anybody? We could have an independent contractor that we agree can come in here, but the homeowner or the builder should be paying that, not us, to get them in here.
No, that's what he's saying.
Should be no cost to us, right?
That's no cost.
What
Okay,
I'm
that's what I'm
proposing,
confused.
right, what I'm proposing is that we do it as an independent contractor, like a plumbing or electrical inspector.
Because I don't think we got money in the budget.
Right,
Do
right.
you know what the cost would be? Let's say that I was gonna build a home. Do you know what the cost would normally be to the homeowner for the inspection in order to comply?
I don't know what they are, but like the inspection fees are.
I like all of it, as long as it doesn't come out of our budget.
I know in the big cities, it costs a for an inspection. It's
And
not
that's,
cheap.
I mean, I'm not comfortable voting on this right now. Can
No,
we
no.
look at,
Well, we're not,
can you get us some numbers?
yeah.
Yeah.
This is more of a conversation,
But
yeah, that's all.
I like the idea.
We're just introducing the idea,
Right.
and, maybe it'll fit us, maybe it won't.
Yeah.
So.
Now, wouldn't that if the county doesn't need something
The
like
county
that?
needs it too.
Yeah, I did
Some
talk
of these
to-
cabins going up
Yeah, I
on
did talk to
hillsides
Eddie.
that aren't-
Yeah, I did talk to Eddie about that, and he's supposed to, I don't know if he brought it up in the fiscal court or not, but he was supposed to kind of poll them and see what
It would
what was
be
up.
easier if the county did it throughout, because otherwise what you're gonna get is builders or anyone that does anything, they're gonna say, why do I have to do it in city limits as opposed to outside? It causes a little confusion, but, I mean, we can look at it, we can study it, and one of the things is how much is the cost to anyone who's doing the renovation? We don't wanna make it unduly expensive for somebody if they want to do a renovation.
But we do want them to do it right.
We do.
Yeah.
That's
Right. Yeah,
I mean, there's no cost to doing things right. I mean, I don't care what it
The
is.
problem with cutting corners is you get houses that don't withstand the
Yeah,
elements.
you
that don't
build it
withstand
that way, and
time.
then I gotta buy your house, and I gotta do all the renovations, I'm mad at you.
And I wanna make sure that the city doesn't have any liability.
Right, yeah, you're gonna say release those
If
liabilities.
somebody
But
says
independent
this
contractor,
this
you would-
doesn't work, hey, you
Okay.
the city maybe do a home
Any
inspection.
other
City.
questions, Chris?
I'll try to get some, anything besides, the inspection fees you want me to look into between now and then?
Yeah, we'll get some, we'll get a little bit more.
Okay.
Montgomery.
Information on
Montgomery does it.
Okay.
I don't think
Anyone
anybody
else?
does it.
All right, the reviewing of the November year-to-date budgets, and then we'll turn the.
Can there was one point I want to make about building inspection. That I did. Sorry. In talking to contractors, builders, they have expressed to me that we need building inspection. The people who are doing the building. And then I've had people that have called about doing construction in the county thinking they need to go through us. And they have said it's crazy that the county doesn't have planning and zoning or building inspection. And that's something that always comes up. So I will say that the people who are doing the building, who would be the ones that would have to make the changes and meet the code, see it as something that's necessary. So anyway, sorry, I meant to make that point. Sorry, I apologize.
Okay, no problem.